Hello YouTube, this is Kolbot Forever bringing another video, this time on solo leveling. This is a script, at least it's new to me, and it's basically similar to the Sonic script, although it looks as though there's a lot of improvements, including hardcore, and many different builds for almost all the classes except for Barbarian. I do not believe that Barbarian has a class that works as of yet for solo leveling, but all the other ones do. And some of them have multiple different builds that they can use to go with it. So without further ado, let's download the zip. Again, the link will be in the description below. It'll take you to my website and then you can get the link. Next up, we want to make sure that we get the proper Kolbot version, and we do need a new one. You cannot use your existing one. You need to use the one that's going to be in the link. Make sure that you use that one. And the Readme is basically telling you what it'll do. Operates in hell difficulty within 24 hours. Includes character build options. Plays and finishes the game through Act 5 Hell. Hires class build specific mercenaries. Fully configured auto-equip for the bot. And makes CTA and Spirit Shield on the swap. We also have a ton of available builds, as I said before, which is really, really cool. And I think that this is the biggest improvement overall, is the fact that we can use many different classes now. There's some frequently asked questions that you can go through. I'm going to mostly focus on the how can I run more than one of the same class area. And that's basically by adding a dash and the number for each of the profiles that you want to use. And that way it can do multiples at once. I know with Sonic, that was always a question, and we couldn't really do that with Sonic without having multiple instances. We don't need multiple instances with solo leveling, which is fantastic. So how do we actually install this? Well, the first thing we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to download both the solo leveling script and, of course, the Kolbot version we need. We're going to go ahead and extract those wherever, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to go into the solo leveling script. We're going to copy all the files in the folder. And we're going to copy those over to the new Kolbot folder. So you're going to go into D2BS, Kolbot, and then you're going to paste it in here. Be careful not to paste it into another folder. It needs to go into the base directory. And then you're going to click Replace All. And that's it for that. Then we're going to go back up a couple more levels to where our d2bot.exe is. And you need to right-click this and go to Properties. Make sure that you set up your compatibility mode with Windows 7. And, of course, run as admin. Very important to do that. It will not work if you do not do that. So do not forget that step. I go over a lot of this in my other videos, so if this seems confusing, that's probably why. I'm not going over everything like the profile setup here. I'm just going to go over it as if you already know. So if you haven't set up keys, go ahead and do that. And then for the profile names, these are specific to solo leveling. We have to have the specific profile names for solo leveling. So you can't just put whatever you want in there. And here are some profile names that you can use. So you're going to pick out of which one of these you want. And as you can see, it explains what each one does. And for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to pick the first one, because the first one is actually pretty popular. And this is going to be a softcore expansion ladder paladin. And so we're going to put that in there. We're going to copy and paste it. Now the account password and character can be randomly generated, which is what I'm going to do here if you leave it blank. If you want to use your own character name, account, password, character, all that good stuff, you're going to need to create that before you run this script, and then you're going to go ahead and put it in there and plug it in. For our entry, we're going to use the D2bot D2bot solo leveling entry. And then I turn visible on for mine because I want to be able to actually see what it's doing. And last but not least, in the info tag section, we also need to make sure that we tell it which build to use. So the most common build is the Hammerden, and that's why I'm going to show it here. So copy and paste that into the info tag. Make sure you hit apply before you hit OK, and then you're good to go. And we're going to start it here so you can see this and basically get an idea of what it's going to do. It does have a little bit of a delay on logging in and starting up, at least by default. I do believe all this can be configured through the normal means of all the config files inside of the Kolbot folder. Again, I'm not going to show that here, but I have gone over most of that before. I didn't do it for the purpose of this video because I wanted to leave it stock just so you could see how it runs completely bone stock. Because that's very important not to mess around with anything that you guys don't see, at least to me, so that you can kind of understand what it is that you're going to be getting into. So hopefully in a few more seconds it'll start up here. It does take a few extra seconds for the bot to create its own character name and password and everything. So if you do this, keep that in mind that it's going to take a little bit longer for it to generate those names and everything. So give it a few seconds and don't panic. Like Sonic, I always suggest that you just kind of set it and forget it. Don't mess around with it. Don't always try to customize it. The whole purpose of these scripts is to just get you leveled up and to get you into hell so that you can go ahead and get the equipment that you want and you don't have to do any of the tedious leveling. And then finally, hopefully it'll do it here in a few seconds. It looks like 7 seconds. It will make the game and get started, and then I will let this roll a little bit longer. I'm going to let it roll until it levels up once and equips a couple of items, and then we'll leave it there. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We just hit 3,000. That's fantastic. Never thought anybody would care enough to give me 3,000 subs, but I'm glad to have them, and I'm thankful that you guys are able to do that for me. I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind, hit a like on it as well. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.